Deep beneath the 12th century castle of Burg Eltz, in his solitary cell, Phéline, a political prisoner and agent of the Havilschilds group, felt the silence yet again, but noticed something different in its quality, as if something private and momentous had just taken place. The stale air felt somehow refreshed. In the half-darkness of his thoughts, he felt something warm and good. His wounds seemed to fester less, and the pain was somehow eased for no discernible reason. Time becomes timeless in solitary confinement. The five senses have less work, and the inner world takes over the environment. Thought, emotion, fear, anxiety, and pain move around on the surface, and the prisoner slides down into the underworld of his feelings. One of the phantoms came to visit the prisoner. Michael Tenebris was one of those whose karma prevented reincarnation for quite some time. Slithering through the concrete wall, he brought an eerie light into the half-darkness. His function was to terrorize and mortify the man lying before him on the dirty floor in the dank and foul-smelling cell. But Phéline was not afraid. He recognized the intruder from an earlier secret assignment at the behest of the dark military and their allies, the Havilschilds. "Hello, Michael, you're here. How did the operation go? It seems to have been successful, judging by your current condition." Phéline was clairvoyant and could easily see the subtle body of Michael Tenebris, another agent of the Havilschilds group. "Yes," responded the ghost of Michael. "My body parts flew in all directions when the armed belt went off. The Moldavian embassy wall was breached. Some security people were killed. Some innocent bystanders, including a small boy. Our target was badly wounded, but not killed. I lost track of my group, but I'm sure some of them were killed. I think one was caught. I thought he might be somewhere in this jail. There are so many caged men and women here, it's hard to find him." "Well, of course, it's hard to recognize us after torture. But no matter. What will you do now?" "I don't know. I'm here to frighten you, but it didn't work, so I don't know what to do next." "Don't worry, Michael. You can go now. You have another mission. Elgard, the master of the phantoms, will let you know. Just remain open. Keep your mind still, and you will catch the instructions. You can leave now. Just go." "But I don't know how to operate in this dimension. I'm afraid. I can't connect with people anymore. I'm alone with my pain. My exploded body hurts a lot. My mind is troubled." "Get on with it, man. You knew the price you would pay. Now just go and follow the instructions from Elgard and the Havilschilds authorities. Leave me to my solitude, will you?" The phantom faded and vanished, leaving a trace of anguish in the dim atmosphere. Phéline sat and went deeper into his silence of many months. Elgard was the master of subtle forces dwelling in the dimension of the dead. He could use their etheric bodies for nefarious ends. The spirit of the stag appeared before Phéline. He bore huge antlers that seemed too large for his small form. He stood there nobly, with so much beauty, surrounded in warm and gentle light. The dim outline of a crown revealed itself around his neck. Phéline moved out of his torn and broken body. Using his subtle form, he mounted the stag, and they flew into the night sky, for no walls or bars could stand in their way. He felt the cool night breeze on his face and arms. The pain in his body was no longer tangible. He was one with the flying stag. Onward they flew, far over the land and rivers, over mountains and jungles so high that Phéline could see the curvature of the earth and the glow of the rising sun in front of the pair. The almost imperceptible voice of the great spirit from beyond whispered, "Catch the light, Phéline. You have been called for an important task, but you need gigantic power, so you must catch the energy that is being streamed to you. Be awake and stay focused. There are other phantoms behind you. You need power to remain ahead." Suddenly, Phéline was back in his cell. It was morning now. He could tell by the slight difference in the quality of the darkness in the atmosphere. "Who are you? I need to know who you are." Phéline could feel the discarnate presence and hear the sound of his mind, the etheric voice from beyond. That presence was tangible but invisible. Who is that? He struggled to make sense of this. "I am offering you power. Do you want it?" "But who are you?" The voice of the Great Spirit came again. "I am offering you power. Do you want it?" "I can't see you. There's no one there. How can I answer if I don't know who you are?" said Phéline. "I am offering you power. Do you want it?" came the subtle response. "I have nothing to lose. I accept. I will take it," Phéline decided. "Good. Let's shake hands on that." The reply came as a thought in his mind. Then the extraordinary presence disappeared. Phéline knew he had made a contract, but that was all. What is power? What power? What do you do with power? Phéline struggled to understand. Anant, the child with light, began to float upwards in his subtle body of light. He flew softly but at great speed far into the night sky. He roamed over the cities and the surrounding woodlands. He saw the animals of the African bush, moving as they normally do before the morning light emerges over the mountains. His speed was the speed of thought, and it took him where his mind led. Instantly he was there where the thoughts arose. He saw the etheric forms of the stag with Phéline on his back. "Hello, my lovely brother of the forest. Who are you bearing on your back?" "I bear your helper, my child. He has been selected for you. He is so free. He is invulnerable. He will do the work with no obstructions. Now you must be in contact with him and instruct him about his task," came the response of the stag as thoughts in Child Anant's mind. Child Anant moved in close and, undetected, looked deeply into the eyes of Phéline and saw the innocence of an unbroken man. Yes, he thought, Phéline and I will work together well. It is good. Thanks, my brother of the forest. In the world of the spirits there are many levels, some more visible than others, depending on the level of the spirit. The spirit of the wind was near and watched this conversation. Addressing Child Anant, he said, "I will also serve. You can call me any time. I have excellent hurricanes, tornadoes, gentle breezes. I move the jet stream around the stratosphere. I can whip up the oceans, my sisters, and we shall dance the dance of victory to celebrate the successful outcome of your task." Thank you, Spirit of the Wind. You are my dear brother in combat. Stay close to my thoughts, Child Anant whispered. A sudden noise, and a metal pan of questionable food was thrust into Phérine's cell. The slider slammed shut, and the silence took over. Distant sounds, clatter of other food pans, groans and whimpers floated along the stale air and passed away. Phéline felt his body. There would be no doctors, no medicine, no bandages. He would have to heal himself. He set his mind to this new intention. In silence, he opened his mind. He recognized that special spiritual power must be used to heal the body. He must find the correct tone, the vibration that brings the broken and torn body back to its original condition of wholeness and health. His mind travelled far and deep. In silence, one can discover the way. He travelled deep into his body to find the sound. He first had to feel the nature of the wounds that had been wrought on it and the pain. He had to find the ancient origin of the pain that besieged his captors and their rulers in order to identify the correct sound. Phéline had been captured in another incarnation on another mission for the Havilschilds and incarcerated. This time around was some kind of replication of the ancient patterns. His role as a warrior, a challenger against unrighteous tyranny, was repeating in the modern world. Professionally, Philip Green, Phéline's alter ego, was an investigative reporter for highly reputed news media. But his whistleblowing jolted some powerful political players who had found a way to capture him and consign him to this secret prison. It was an ancient dungeon in a castle built in the 12th century in Central Europe. There were also secret time-warp tunnels through which people could be moved at lightning speed to any part of the planet where there were portals. Burg Eltz was one of the main portals. For long hours, Phéline focused on that violence to find its energetic source. The original pain had travelled down through the historic record and burst through onto his body in this present moment. He travelled deep into the collective memory as far back in time as it would allow, and then some way further. Finally, after many days and nights of deep penetration into the dark recesses of his wounds, he came upon the spirit of pain. Pain is an energetic force that takes on an identity and has a mind of its own. There are such spirits that interact with selected people at critical moments. They are teachers, acting like discarnate beings in their own right, but they are neither human nor God. They are energies that seem to have consciousness, although they have no soul. They belong to the great and secret drama, acting as agents of predestination. The spirit of pain bore down on him and tore cruelly at his festering wounds. The spirit invaded Phérine's body and soul at the very roots and dragged him far beyond endurance. The battle raged, and Phéline resisted with great power until he was almost dead. Then he understood. I have to surrender. I have to totally and completely surrender to the pain. He unclenched his resistance. He relaxed his sinews and muscles. He gave himself totally to the pain. All right, take me completely. And he surrendered his mind, his body, his feelings, his weakness, his ego, and and the spirit of pain took him further beyond endurance, to the farthest reaches of human pain. Then the spirit gently relinquished his grip. He floated free from the contest, leaving the most profound and valuable message in the amazed mind of Phéline. O spirit of pain, I never knew, I never understood what a great friend and teacher you are. He tried to hold on to the message left as the legacy of the spirit of pain, but the message slipped away unarticulated. Even so, there was a feeling, a sense of knowing. Something of utmost importance had been communicated to him by the spirit of pain, and he was so grateful. He felt so much love for that spirit. That was his first encounter with the marvels bequeathed by that great and wonderful spirit. He fell into a deep sleep. No dreams, just deep, sweet sleep that restored him greatly. Gradually, Phéline was beginning to understand the absolute interdependence of good and evil, right and wrong, happiness and sorrow, health and intense pain. These were the two sides of the same mysterious coin.